This movie has been the heart of countless people. Because of a scene, it's still hard to let go. That's the movie The Mist. After watching the thrilling masterpiece, countless people have praised its conclusion. Even the original author Stephen King said, Director Della created the most stunning movie ending in film history. Let's analyze it together. The brilliance of this movie. The story is set in a small town. A mist runs down the river. At first, people thought it was just a natural phenomenon after a rainstorm. But it didn't take long. Strange things happened. Military, fire, ambulance, all drove in the direction of the fog. Soldiers also had their vacations canceled. It seems that something serious is about to happen. Supermarket was packed with people. Everyone is going on a buying spree. Supermarket suddenly went out of power. Everyone's cell phone has lost signal. While people were talking about it, a voice came from outside. The noisy crowd quieted down in an instant. Then an old man covered in blood rushed to the supermarket. He warned the crowd in horror. Something terrible is happening out there. Never go out. But there is a cutie who doesn't believe. Had to get in the car, but he just ran out. The thick fog came like a beast. The man is swallowed in an instant. A few screams followed, and he never showed up again. This strange scene made everyone panic. People wonder what's going on. Some say it's fog contaminated with nuclear radiation, because a nuclear power plant exploded. Others say it's the coming of death, to punish foolish humans. But people are just guessing. No one dared to go out. Just when everyone is wondering, there was a sudden violent shock, with a roar like an elephant. Louder than an elephant. The chandelier keeps falling. This makes people more afraid. The supermarket was a mess. A mother finally lost composure. 2 children are at home alone. The eldest is only 8 years old. She has to go back and save. Wish there was a man who could help her. This sentence comes out. The supermarket immediately becomes silent. Everyone looked at her, but no one to help. The woman is very disappointed. Then she walked alone into the fog. This seemingly unremarkable mother, but it laid the groundwork for the movie. At night, the fog hasn't lifted yet. Everyone stay in the supermarket and wait for rescue. David discovers that his son has a fever, so he going to the warehouse to get a blanket. He just stepped into the warehouse. Terrible things happened. David broke out in a cold sweat, quickly ran back, and spread the news to others. But everyone thought he was playing. The staff of the supermarket want to take a look. They followed David back into the warehouse. But here's the weird thing. Although the shutter has stopped shaking, but the warehouse exuded a stench, and the generator was billowing smoke. After investigation, they discovered that generator row trend. It seems to be blocked. Someone has to go out and deal with it. Otherwise, the generator doesn't work. A little brother volunteered to go, but David tried his best to stop it, because no one knows what's going on. Before they understand the situation, once out easily, will not come back. The little brother is energetic, not only and grateful. He mocked David for being timid. Other people chimed in, then they opened the turnstiles regardless. Except for a thick layer of fog, nothing terrible happened. The crowd also laughed contemptuously, but they were still too happy. The little brother was grabbed by the weird tentacles. Only David grabbed him, and the person who just supported was scared stupid. But with David's strength alone, can't resist these weird tentacles at all. Critical moment. The manager offered a helping hand, but this angered the tentacles. With hard black thorns, forcibly pierce the little brother. See this situation? Manager can only change the strategy. Picked up the axe from the fire cabinet, but the boy's body is shaking. The manager has no way to start. The boy grabbed the rolling shutter door, trying to pull the body back. David and the manager on the side to help did everything they could. But under the absolute power of the monster, it seems so insignificant. At this time, the tentacles began to attack them. In desperation, they can only choose to let go. David has no time to be sad. Just closed the shutter, probably because it caught the tentacles. It also slowly withdrew. David chopped one off. After the tragedy, David looked at the sarcastic clerk, furious. Just because they watched the fun, the boy lost his life in vain, and they're still arguing, trying to get away with responsibility. how to fight. It doesn't help either. The most important thing to solve now is, what about the people who are alive? Just a few tentacles are already overwhelming. They dare not imagine, what are these tentacles growing on? And they had an even bigger problem. There are no rolling gates on the front. It's fragile glass. Now people must be united to survive this disaster. So, they have to tell everyone. But more than one person is stupid. Sure enough, the old black in front of him thinks David is playing. Other people thought they were talking nonsense. To prove, David can only take them. Go see that severed tentacle. But, this group of people never wanted to believe. Not even interested in looking at it. Only a few curious people followed David into the warehouse. And that shocking tentacle, lying there right now. The cowboy poked it with a stick. It actually jumped like a fish. And then it sort of evaporates. Turned into a pool of black water. People realized the seriousness of the situation. In the face of disaster, the differences in human nature are gradually revealed. Just one day, the group was divided. Divided into 3 factions. On one side were the realists, led by David. They fortified the supermarket with dog food, do best to face disaster, waiting for a better opportunity. The second side is headed by the goddess, although recognizing the impending disaster. But they think it's God's will. Holding a catechism, constantly demagogic, said the world was going to end, no matter what. The rest is headed by the old black. They are unwilling to face reality. Still stubborn, think the monster is bullshit, must go out and get help. Then Black called on a group of people. Despite the resistance of the crowd, say anything and go out. David saw that they had made up their mind, gave up persuasion. But then he had an idea, asked the old black to tie a rope around their waists. If the rope can be completely released, this means there is no danger. But Black didn't mean to help. And then the cowboy stepped forward, although he was of the Davidic faction. But he's willing to risk his life, helping those inside to find a livelihood. Also get the shotgun back from the car. So he tied the rope, following the old black party. At first, everything was normal, but suddenly the rope is taut. The power on the other side becomes immense. None of them can stop it. Until the end, the rope actually rose into the air. Then suddenly unload. They fell to the ground. David hurriedly pulls the rope back, but the scene in front of them made everyone scream. The rope was stained with blood, and only half of the cowboy was left. And here's what happened. The rest are even more afraid to try to go out. Can only close the door of the supermarket. At night, supermarket staff pulled out a lot of emergency lights. The battery doesn't last long. David told them, open it again in an emergency. People hide behind tall dog food. Illuminate with lanterns. Take turns on duty. Fortunately, they spent a safe night. It will be dawn soon. But just as people let down their guard, something terrible has happened again. They also use lamps to see what the bugs look like, and then more and more bugs gather. A strange bird flies head on to prey on the bugs. The glass was also knocked out of cracks. They finally realized, these bugs are attracted to the light. Quickly turned off all the lanterns. But the people behind don't know the situation. They thought it was an emergency. Turned on all the searchlights. So there are more and more bugs. There are more and more birds. They keep hitting the glass. Finally hit a big hole. The bugs started to fly in one by one. A girl was bitten by the neck. Fall to the ground. After a while her neck started to swell. It quickly turned into a terrifying look. Stopped breathing. People drive the bugs away with gasoline mops on fire. In a panic, a boy accidentally kicked over a petrol can. The raging fire began to burn on him. It was chaotic. Howling and pain filled the supermarket. A bug flew to the goddess's stomach. She was terrified, kept saying prayers. And here's the magic. These bugs didn't hurt her, but flew away. Others are still struggling with the bugs. But the strange bird also flew in. Some eat bugs. Some cannibalism. Then the store manager pulled out a pistol. That solves the bug and the bird. People scrambled to reseal the windows. Several people have died. More people began to believe in the goddess, because they saw that she wasn't hurt by the bug. David ignored them. Go check the wounded. And the boy who was burned. Only one breath left. He was in so much pain, begging David to help him in his life. Some people can't stand the fear. Chose suicide. David decided to get medicine. Treat the surviving wounded. But just about to go out, the goddess started to stop him again. Accuse David of doing this. It will definitely attract the monster. And curse them. They will be torn to shreds. David to save lives. Take someone out. Fortunately, the pharmacy is very close. They entered the pharmacy safely. It's pitch black here. The door is also open. It seems the situation here is even worse. They groped carefully inside, searched for useful medicines. Then an old man heard a strange noise. They look up, but was scared silly by the scene. There are people hanging from the roof. It's like a spider's prey, wrapped in a spider web. This also shows that there are other scarier things in pharmacies. Wait for everyone to recover. A man was grabbed by the neck. Is a police officer still alive? He was crying out to people, but David just got close, but found that his body had been parasitized. Then densely packed little spiders break out of his body. Everyone was terrified. Larger spiders are starting to appear, and they spat out spider silk. And spider silk is also highly corrosive. They began to struggle. Someone got caught in silk. His leg broke instantly. Some are worse. Straight to the face. Died on the spot. They quickly pulled the wounded and ran out. But a bigger spider blocked their path, and the bullets in the gun are gone. Fortunately, an uncle rushed out, stabbed the spider. They returned to the supermarket in shock. Now, 2 more people died. Look at David and the others looking embarrassed. The goddess claims that this is the curse, and she is the messenger of God. This is what happens if they don't listen to her. So more people became her followers. Even people in David's ranks are starting to defect. David ignored them. Found a soldier here. Hope they can join the team. But 2 comrades have hanged themselves, said the soldier in grief. This fog, it could be a military plan. The followers of the goddess overheard. He took the soldiers to the goddess. Everyone stared at the soldier viciously. Under pressure, soldiers can only tell the truth. It turned out that the military tried to make the door to another beautiful world. But when this door opens, countless terrible things came out. And he was stationed at the site. The goddess is furious, angry that it was all the soldiers' fault. The soldiers kept explaining, he's just a soldier following orders. Nobody believed him. He has now become the target of public criticism. Everyone seems to have found the culprit. They were scolding him, hit him, someone even pulled out a dagger and stabbed him. David and the others were stopped by the believers. Can't interfere at all. The goddess yelled to sacrifice her soldiers to the devil, so they can get through the night safely. So these people mercilessly threw the soldier out. Soldier begging outside, but the people inside looked disgusted. Don't want to let him in. A roar came from behind. He turned around. A giant monster shaped like a praying mantis, walking towards him slowly. Watching soldiers die miserably, the person inside gave an evil smile. They really think they sacrificed someone else. It seems to be safe. More people are supporting the goddess. Now David also understands. The monster outside, far less terrifying than these monsters inside. Stay here. Sooner we'll end up with the soldiers. At night, they took the believers to sleep. Plan route. Collected food for several days. Going to drive away. But when they got to the door, they found the food was gone. It turned out that their movements were discovered by the goddess. She at this moment has established itself as the supreme power here. She won't allow David to go out, raging them as demons. It was the devil who ordered the crowd to kill them, to receive God's forgiveness, survive the apocalypse, and his next sacrifice target, Son of David. Believers wake up one by one. All take up arms. Approach them. David and his party were surrounded. Only take up arms and resist. But there are too few of them. No match for believers at all. The goddess is still bewitching people's hearts. Just then, the store manager shot the goddess. One more shot to the forehead. See that the goddess is dead. Believers have thrown away their weapons. Slowly retreated. David and his party to leave the supermarket. It's hard to tell the direction in the fog. It wasn't long before everyone got separated. Fortunately, the store manager found David's car. He opened the car door and waited for the crowd to arrive. But when the others arrived, but was scared silly. The remaining 3 people are also surrounded by bugs. Lost their lives one after another. In the end, there were only 5 of them left. David dared not hesitate. Pick up the gun. Took everyone to the car. Then broke forward. Passing by the supermarket, the people inside all cast envious glances. But no one dared to go out. David drives home to rescue his wife. Just found out. His house has become a lair of monsters. The wife is also entangled in cobwebs. Became a corpse. He can only hold back his sadness. There was no light in sight. The fog was everywhere. Cars are lying on the road. The car is also full of corpses tangled in cobwebs. Suddenly, the car began to shake. It was like something huge was coming. And they looked. They know where the tentacle came from. Also know the roar of an elephant. Where did it come from? A towering one in front. Giant elephant-shaped monsters passed by them. They were all silent. Hope dashed. Let their mood hit rock bottom. And David just kept going aimlessly. But even worse. The car is out of gas. Now it seems life is impossible. But they don't want a painful death. So they decided to commit suicide. No! David pulls out a pistol. Found that there were only 4 bullets. But there are 5 of them. Finally, he decided to face his pain alone. After the gunshot. Now only David is left alone. His howl of pain, calling out his own incompetence and inner unwillingness. In the end, he will be tortured to death. How he wishes there were still 1 bullet. Can end his pain. Then he opened the door. Planned to fight the monster. There were calls coming from behind. It's time to come. He turned around. Face those hateful monsters. But he never expected. The scene is more terrifying than seeing a monster. The army's rescue slowly arrived. A large number of survivors were pulled in the car. And here's the irony. Among them is the mother who starts the movie. Just a minute away. He can come to the rescue. But they were so desperate. Too impatient. This late hope is more hopeless than despair. So the movie ends. The ending of the movie is highly controversial. It breaks the lone hero, the usual path to victory. Give the audience a reason, an unexpected ending. It's hard to let go for a long time, but at the same time, it is also one of the most stunning endings in film history. If you watch this movie for the first time, must not have guessed this ending. Even the original author Stephen King said, "Why didn't I expect such a wonderful ending?" This movie is like a true portrayal of life. Heroes don't win in life. No villain will lose. Fate will not pity anyone. Reality is a lot of luck and coincidence. It's not that, it's what you do. All we can do is believe in our choices. Then accept the reality. As it says in the film, 1 death, both sides. But at least we tried. Tell every story with your heart. See you next time.